Hello knitters, hello Strickmich Club members, welcome to the third cast-on event of Strickmich Club 2022. My name is Martina Behm, I'm a knitwear designer and Strickmich is my brand. It's German and means knit me. Strickmich Club is a subscription for 4 new patterns by me, plus exclusively dyed yarn. And today we've come together to open the third paper bag with the third yarn for the third project of Strickmich Club, and we're not going to wait any longer, we're just going to do it. And after that I'm going to show you the design that I've made with the yarn, and yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about the yarn and the pattern. So let's go. So this is the yarn we got for this shipment and this project. It's Lazy Lion by Kremke Soul Wool. It's Britta Kremke's brand, and she's a very dear colleague and we have worked together very well. And I'm very, very fond of this yarn of hers. It's a very colorful hand-dyed yarn that very astonishingly, when you look at it, has very long color changes, so it is self-striping. Like usually when you have hand-dyed yarn, or many hand-dyed yarns, they are dyed in the round. You place the skein on some kind of surface, or you dunk it into a pot, and it's very hard to achieve long color changes when you're a hand dyer, but somehow the dyers of Lazy Lion, they have managed to invent a method to achieve this. And the skeins, they're all very, very similar, and the sequence of the colors is also very, very similar. So it's very amazing to me that hand dyeing can achieve this beautiful sequence of colors and produce a self-striping yarn. So this is a sock yarn, a very soft sock yarn with a 75% merino fiber, mulesing free, and 25% nylon, so you could make very sturdy socks out of this. But of course, I think that this is much too beautiful to be hidden in your shoes, so I have designed something else, something where you can show off the beautiful colors, and I hope it's a lot of fun to knit. So let's take the skein apart to just have a look. Maybe we can see a little bit better how the colors work here. And I think now you get an idea of how the color sequence works. Here you have purple and red, and you have greens and whites and pinks, and when the dyer of this yarn, who lives in Turkey, and he invented this color for us, when he suggested this for us, I thought, well, this looks like a happy crowd of people wearing very different colors. So this color is called Happy Crowd. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how this yarn came about. Britta Kremke, who is a German producer, well, not really producer, she's a seeker of beautiful yarns all over the world, and she gathers them and makes them available to us knitters. She was looking for a very soft sock yarn that should be mulesing free, so she sourced the fiber for this merino yarn in South Africa. Maybe you have heard of mulesing. It's a very cruel practice that is almost exclusively used in Australia and exclusively used on merino sheep. So whenever you think you would like you want to be sure that a yarn made out of merino fiber is mulesing free, it's quite easy. You just have to pay attention to where the fiber comes from. So if it comes from South America or South Africa, and I think also in New Zealand mulesing doesn't happen anymore, then you can be sure it's mulesing free. So Britta found this very soft merino fiber in South Africa, and she found a very creative dyer in Turkey. And she had the very soft merino spun and has it dyed in Turkey. And yeah, and this is what happens to the yarn. I just love knitting with it. I have a couple of designs that I have made with Lazy Lion, for example, my circle and square hat. And another colorway of this is also on the title page on the front cover of my book, Knitting Inventions. And we have made a Puerto Montt shawl of that. So yeah, this is Lazy Lion in the color Happy Crowd. And I'm very glad that Britta was able to bring this yarn to us knitters and to my club members. And here's a pic of Britta, who's very lovely and who will be here with us tonight when we cast on together. Yeah. So maybe we should go on and talk about what I have made with this yarn, about the design. So if you have ordered the printed pattern with your yarn subscription, then you should have received an envelope with the pattern in it, and everyone else will gain access to the digital version today. And I'm just going to show you this picture, but it doesn't tell you so much. It's quite obscure, but you will be enlightened in just a minute when I show you the real thing. So this is my design that I made with this yarn. It's like the yarn, it's called Happy Crowd. And you can see that there is a lot of zigzags going on. And yeah, that's because I'm somehow in the phase of my career as a knitwear designer where I love to go back to the roots, and it all, as you know, it all started with the hitchhiker, and there is this zigzag edge on the hitchhiker. So yeah, I like to play with that in different ways. So this is an entirely zigzag cowl. It's a very wide cowl, and I chose the stitch number and this a little unusual shape for a cowl because I wanted to have this effect of the stripes of the self-striping yarn plus the color changes, because this is fascinatingly, this is dyed in such a fashion that it's going to make these little stripes. So it's not only one color that's changing, it's two colors that are changing. So it's going from green and white to light purple and dark purple to purple and red, and then it's going back to green and white again. It's just so fascinating. And I wanted to optimize this, and that's why I chose the stitch number, and the cowl is rather wide and short, but it looks nice when you wear it. I'm going to show you in a minute. But of course, if you prefer a longer cowl that is narrower, I give you all the instructions in the pattern. Also, if you are one of our lucky club members who have twice the amount of yarn, because some of you have chosen the double yarn option, then I'm telling you in the pattern how to make this longer and how to adapt it to your preferences. Okay, so this is my Happy Crowd cowl, and I'm going to put it on. And as you can see, this actually looks quite nice and flattering when you wear it this way. And you can make it warm and nice and close to your neck if you pull the edges over one another, and you can wear it under your winter coat as a warm addition and to keep your neck warm. So yeah, I love how this looks, and I'm very happy with the result. And I was also having a lot of fun when knitting this, because it was always like, oh, what color is coming next, and I wonder what the next color change is going to be. And yeah, it was just a fun project. One word about the techniques that I use. I have put this cowl together. It's not knit in the round, it's knit on the bias. And you start with a provisional crochet cast on. But don't worry, I have a video that is linked in the pattern, and you don't have to be a very experienced crocheter to make this. It's no problem. And in the end, I'm actually sparing you the grafting. I'm using a 3 needle bind off, and there's also a video for that in the pattern. It's linked in the pattern. And as you can see, it is not very visible, even on the side where the cast off is happening. But if you turn this to the inside, then it's going to be totally invisible. And I think that's actually quite a good compromise. If you're a perfectionist, you're very welcome to graft the 2 edges together when you are done knitting. But I think it's not necessary, and you can use a 3 needle bind off. It's not cheating, it's intentional. So yeah, this is Happy Crowd. I hope you enjoy the knitting, and I hope you enjoy wearing this as much as I do. And we will see each other again in November for the 4th cast on event of Strickmich Club 2022 with the 4th paper bag with the 4th yarn, and it's going to be spectacular as well. If you have any questions about the pattern, please send us an email to mail@strickmich.de. My colleague and I are going to answer your question as soon as we can, and we wish you happy knitting, happy club knitting, happy casting on. See you, bye bye.